Alrighty, so we rebuilding Wacker P6LT water pump, 6-inch pump. Came off of this trailer, and they called me, the customer called me and said that they had a problem with the pump priming up. It wouldn't prime. So after finding all kinds of, or having a hard time finding the parts for it and all that, I finally found a place in Jackson that can get it. So here's kind of what we did to rebuild it. We put a new volute on it, put new impeller in it, new mechanical seal, new flap valve up on the inside of it. So, and I put this back together and didn't put enough shims in it to go between the volute and the housing. So, or the housing that it bolts to. So, got to take it back apart and put more shims in it. So we'll take this apart. 6mm Allen head. That's par for the course. I got a real nice workbench up here. Put that in there. Alrighty. Yeah, like an idiot, I only put one shim in there. So, and shims don't just go bad, so I'm gonna stack all of them in here. And yeah, I had to go buy sockets for this truck because the crew is out on the job right now. So we're gonna line all these holes up. And I didn't put a mic on these, but obviously this one is thinner because it was bent when I got it. So got a little thin one here, and these two are just a shade thicker. So we're gonna line our holes up. Get a bolt where it doesn't become a giant pain. And I would rather put more shim. This pump's got plenty of adjustment in it, so I'd rather put more shims in it now than where you can get adjustment out of it without having to break the pump down, rather than having to break it down and add shims later. So we get it started. So we'll come back, got them hand tight, and just run these up just like so. Didn't really look for a spec sheet on these, but we're just gonna put the old German specs on it, good and tight. So now we're gonna take the whole volute insert and get it set back up in here. I'd hate to be having to doing this in the field. Just kind of wiggle it up in there because it does have a gasket or an O-ring in there. Get it up where it starts, and then we'll run. Let's see, how did I do this? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, just like that. So we'll take a hammer. Let's see. Ain't got no scrubbing yet. Come back and check move your impeller and see if it's rubbing. I've got all these bolts loosened up where if it does press against the rotating assembly, it'll push all this back, and then we can adjust it off of that. So I beat on it. I had to take a hammer and get this. This thing needs to be up as close as you can get it right here, because this moves. Your volute is pushing all the way up against the impeller. So when you get up, you can hear it. You can hear it where it's scrubbing where the impeller is pushing the volute just a little bit, and that's what you want. As far as I know, these come apart like a certain brand of sewer pumps that if you know, you know. And I always like them to scrub just a little bit. That way I know that it's got a little bit of clearance in it. So now I'm gonna come around and start running my bolts back up. Make sure that it pulls up. We'll pull it up side to side first. Come around here. Check that one. All right. We might better back off just a little bit. So, how you do that? Back off of these just a little, and then we're gonna run this up just a little and check it. Now let's tighten these back down because it was just a shade tight. If you want to get real technical with it, you can get feeler gauges and check the distance with a feeler gauge between your pump case and the back of your rotating assembly. Alright, so we gone through and tightened all of our studs going on the back of the pump case. I don't know if you can hear, but it's got a little bit of a drag in it, which is perfectly okay. Then you come in, once you got those tight, and again, these studs right here are what's helping hold your spacing off of the volute when you tighten the rotating assembly up. So these are what hold it. These bolts right here are what hold it up against the volute, and these are the one that hold it back off of it. So you've got pressure from two different ways that's going to hold it in place. So you tighten the jam nuts. Get your jam nuts. Tighten them good. Little tight right there. They could have put you a little bit better area to work in, but no, if it was easy. That's what happens when engineers get a hold of stuff. And then we run that one up like so. Let's jam it off. And now we are barely scrubbing and everything is tight. Alright, so I figure somebody might ask about this. When you've got to get the impeller off of the, by the way, this was the old volute that came out of it. It had showed some signs of wear, had some chunks missing out of it. And This was the old impeller that came out of it. This the impeller is regular right-handed threads, by the way. I didn't really figure it out. I had to think about the way the pump was turning and all this and that. You might get lucky and can put an impact on it to get it off, but we could never end up doing it. So what we could never get it off with an impact. What we ended up doing was taking a long handle breaker bar and put on here, and I had the rotating assembly out while we were working on it, of course. Probably would have been easier to do while it was still in the case, but I wasn't thinking that way at the time. But took a big adjustable wrench and put right here and got where we could stand on both of them, and then finally busted it apart. So it will come apart. You just you'll think it won't. One more thing. So the mechanical seal that goes in there. When you order the mechanical seal kit, when you pull it apart, there's another ring, this one that goes. You actually have to pull the piece off when you pull the rotating assembly out of it. Pull the impeller off of it. There's some bolts. It looks kind of like the back of it. You pull that out, and that's where this goes. I didn't end up replacing it because we really did need to bust off into it. They hadn't had any problems with water getting into where all your oil is, so we didn't end up replacing this, but we did replace the mechanical seal.